People's like, bumping, nigga. We going to bed, bro. Like, we tried, bro. We tried, bro. We tried, man. We tried to hang in there with you, dog. But come on, man. We tried to hang in there with you, bro. But I gotta work in the morning. Man, your boy was. Man, we back. Part 3. Shaking my damn head because this is ridiculous, man. I wonder. I don't know. Really don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. All right, we got one person back up in here. We got 2 people back up in here. Man, this is crazy. Like, I shit ain't never did this before. This is wild. Let me know who's back up in here though. All right, because there were a couple points in this interview that I wanted to get to. And I'm going to just go ahead and get into it. And then, you know, as people come along and come back in, if they come back, it is what it is. But, all right, Mary's back. All right, Mary is back. All right. All right, so let's see. So let me play this again from Tracee Ellis Ross. She was on Kevin Hart's live stream or podcast. This was back in 2022. So again, my thing is, you know, she's basically kind of saying the same shit here in 2025 too. So I'm like, yeah, you know. But some of the things that Michelle was saying, I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy work. But all right, let's see. Here we go.
Relationship that of a relationship that makes my life better than it is. I have no interest in just being in a relationship to be in a relationship. I could have a wheel of lovers. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, will you stop going into...
Kevin, I'll be like, I take what I like and I leave the rest. I say, thank you and goodbye.
Stop going.
I say, thank you, sir.
You're not at a jazz bar.
I am at a jazz bar.
You're at a jazz bar.
Oh, I just spit. I'm like,
no, that's not, no man is there. Stop. That's why you're not meeting them. That's why, no. Because you keep going to the jazz bar.
I went to the jazz bar and I went, and a man came and I said, who are you? And he said, and I said, I don't know that language.
Okay, all right. All right. So, I mean, hey, not getting in the sake of a relationship for getting in the sake of a relationship. I totally get that too. All right. So, let's get into the actual interview. Now, you know, the format of Michelle and her brother's podcast, I don't know if I necessarily like it. Because I feel like my thing is, you know, just get to the guest. Like, I don't necessarily want to hear the back and forth, you know. Yeah, I'm not really trying to hear the back and forth. With the stories that they kind of tell before the guests actually come on the podcast. Like, just get straight to the guest. That's kind of where I'm at with that. But let's see. There's some specific timestamps that I want to get to in this video. But I think for the sake of time, no, let's see. Let's go to the 13. 13, yeah. Let's see. Let's get to this. All right. First timestamp here. This is when my antenna started to go up a tad. All right. Was when Michelle basically told Barack, like, look, nigga, you got to quit playing ball. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I know. It's got to be a different measure now.
I know. All right, so just to give y'all some context behind this, prior to Tracee Ellis Ross coming on there, they were basically having a convo about dating whenever they were younger, you know, and one way to tell if this person was going to be good for Michelle is if, well, based on what her brother said, that her father said, you know, how does he play pickup basketball, you know, and you could tell a lot about a person's character, you know, if they're a leader, if they're a team player, things of that nature. And whenever her and Barack decided to get serious, she asked her brother, you know, to go play a game of pickup basketball with Barack. So just wanted to give y'all the back context because I did watch this entire live podcast or whatever. So here we go.
Right, you know, I made Barack put his basketball shoes up once he got his lip busted when he was.
I made Barack put his basketball shoes up once he got busted in the lip.
In the White House playing a pickup game. Yeah, and I don't think many people realize this because he was definitely in shape, athletic. And I remember because you were at that pickup game.
Yes.
And I'm in the White House, actually in the doctor's office.
Just that little part right there. I made him put his basketball shoes up. Now, y'all might be like, well, you know, Justin, I mean, she's just trying to make sure that, you know, he's safe. He's the president of the free world, and, you know, he can't be out here looking crazy. Now, let me see if I can find, let's see, this game in switches with Michelle. Let's see if I can find this. Let's see. Oh, see, now this was just here recently. Let's see. Barack Obama. Let's see. Switches. Seats. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, yeah. Oh, let's see. It's been deleted. Hold up. Let me see. I gotta find this. All right. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's see. All right. So, Nelson Mandela Memorial Service. Barack Obama takes selfie with Danish Prime Minister. See what Michelle did next. All right. So, let's see. Can we get the full story here? All right. So this is how it started. Barack out here. Look. Barack got the hot damn biting on the bottom lip. Michelle looking quite upset. They having a good time taking the selfie. They chit-chatting it up. Michelle looking like, nigga, what the fuck is going on here? He's sitting with Danish Prime Minister Hal Thorning. Then, as we go along here, Barack like, damn, she mad. And she mad. And she looking like, what the hell is going on here? Next thing you know, they done switch seats. Good Lord. Bro, get your ass up. Oh, now you want me to wrap it up. We here now. Because my thing is this. If the president don't stand a chance, then hell, what chance do we have? All right. So I just wanted to show that. I just wanted to show that real quick. Now let's see. Let me get to the next timestamp here. This was 15, 18. Let's see. All right, let's see. Here we go.
Your heart
more open than it should. Yes. Yeah, that was hard.
All right.
More open than it should be. But I do date, and it's a fascinating adventure out there. You know, mostly though.
It's a fascinating adventure out there.
So I think there's really good men out there. I think to a certain extent, I'm a very unique sort of unicorn of a woman. And so it's going to take a unique person. And in the meantime, I have really learned how to live my life and enjoy it. And
we got REB in the building. What's going on, REB? Appreciate you coming through on the late night. We going through this this Michelle Obama and Tracee Ellis Ross podcast and everything. Just some specific timestamps around it. You know, Tracee Ellis Ross again. She's basically saying the same thing that she was saying back in 2022. Like, you know, she's a unicorn of a woman, and it's gonna take a unicorn of a man to deal with her, or to be with her. And she's not sitting around waiting on this particular unicorn of a man. And we're going to get into, you know, what some of those qualities are according to her whenever it comes to her preference in dating. But
and not sit around waiting. I was saying to someone recently that I'm one of the first generations of choice. And
all right, let's see. We're going to skip that. Let's see. Let's get to 7. Yeah, okay.
You know,
sure.
Whether is it really about,
and can that really work?
Rights? Can that really work now that women are educated and we're being raised differently? I mean, the truth is that fathers are modernized.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
mostly
they are, you know, and if you were to ask the average man, how are you raising your daughter? Because you love her. The average father that loves their daughter wants them to be excellent, you know, and they want them to have opportunity and freedom. I mean, when you think about...
Okay, so I'm going to pause right here. Because my thing is this, like, is she saying, because the way that I kind of listened to this was that, you know, fathers are more modernized now, yada, yada, yada. You know, if you ask a father, you know, in today's time, what does he want for his daughter? You know, he would want her to be successful and things of that nature. As if to say that fathers of the past did not want the best for their daughters. Like, I don't know. That sounds wild to me that, you know, fathers of previous generations didn't want what was best for their daughters. Now, I mean, the argument could be made in terms of, oh, you know, they didn't want us to be educated and things of that nature. I mean, I could see that, but at the same time, to make it seem as though fathers of the past didn't want the best for their daughter in comparison to now, I don't know if I'm rolling with that.
You don't want your daughter marrying some guy that chose her because he just didn't think about anything else and who believes that her body
is his choice.
Exactly. So I don't think a lot of leaders are thinking about that. You know?
Well, and they haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context that if it's an area that you don't have to think into.
Right.
But I think there is, it is a genuine regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes.
I mean, hey, she can date younger. I mean, hey, it is what it is. But again, you know what I'm saying? We can kiki and cheer it on and everything. But you know, when we was looking at Uncle Shay, hey, you need to date a woman that's in your age range and blah blah blah. But for somebody like for somebody like Shannon Sharpe, talking to somebody like Tracee Ellis Ross is like, nah, I think I'm a pass on that, you know. But I'm gonna just keep playing.
Power reach. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracee's.
It's fun. It's very fun to share.
Tracee tales.
But
you date a younger woman.
But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner, and so often, and it's not just that I'm older. I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So,
all right, I'm gonna let y'all, you know, y'all define for me what does full and robust mean? What does full and robust mean?
it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks.
Okay, see. Now that's where I'm at. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop right there. You know what I'm saying? Because again, my thing is this: whenever it comes to guys who may be older, just because people want, or men her age may be more traditional in terms of how, you know, relationships are ran, just because, you know, that's a certain ideology, doesn't necessarily mean that it's somehow, you know, they're being toxic in their masculinity. Like I just don't believe that. I think that for a lot of men, as we get older and have, you know, several experiences with women in our lives and, you know, relationships and things like that, in comparison to how we've been taught to believe how women are in versus how women can actually be, you know, I feel like for a lot of men, as they get older, that myth, you know, is busted, and you're not going to be able to pull a lot of the manipulative types of head games and shit like that you may be able to do with someone, with a younger guy. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to get into some of this gender fluidity stuff here in a second, but let me just keep playing.
And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession, or whatever those things were, or prize,
Okay. I guess my rebuttal to that is that I think that for, you know, again, if you're dealing with guys from a certain generation, you know, they may have certain standards and expectations for the women that they're gonna be dealing with, especially if you are looking for someone who is on your same level or above. You know, is gonna come there. That's gonna come with a certain set of expectations and standards, you know, and I don't know if that's necessarily controlling versus establishing boundaries. Now, am I saying I think it should go without saying that I'm not saying that there aren't men who aren't controlling and things of that nature, but also too, also think that whenever you place certain standards or boundaries and things like that, or have certain expectations for your lady in said relationship, women like Tracee Ellis Ross may not be as receptive to that.
I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization, but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that there's times where I'll be, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot.
See, and see, this is where, again, I just personally just have to disagree. I mean, yeah, whenever you look at a lot of younger guys, especially in these modern times, who have had a lot of different ideologies pushed upon them whenever it comes to gender fluidity, homosexuality, and shit like that. Yeah, they're gonna be more receptive and open to that versus someone of an older millennial, like myself. Now, I'm cool. Look, whatever people decide to do in their own time, in their own bedroom, whatever you would like to do, that is on you. I really don't care. I really don't. But at the same time, like, don't be trying to push this shit on me. And I think that's where a lot of older guys, are coming from. Like, just don't be pushing that shit on me. Like, do whatever you want, but just because I don't necessarily agree with the lifestyle or willing to indulge in a certain lifestyle, doesn't make me homophobic or whatever the fuck,
Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match. Yeah. And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up. Yeah. That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating, and I have come up with mine. I have come up with what works for me and what makes sense for me and what feels safe for me. Yep. I mean, like, I'm not on dating apps. I have friends that have great success with dating.
What dating app would Tracee Ellis Ross be on? She ain't gonna be on Facebook dating. She is not about to be on Facebook dating. Okay? Like, come on now. Like, let's be for real.
Apps, but that's just not something I'm comfortable with.
So you're meeting folks in the wild then?
That's the only way for me, or someone sets me up, or I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they have as much to lose as me to a certain extent. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately, but I do have to say I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match. Yeah.
Now, she said, hold up now. She just said that she found what has been working for her, what feels safe for her, and this, that, and the third. But hold up.
Then.
That's the only way for me, or someone sets me up, or I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they have as much to lose as me to a certain extent. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately.
I haven't had great luck lately,
but I do have to say I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match. Yeah.
What does that mean? That she's moving up in turn? Okay, so I dealt with this tier of guys. I dealt with this tier of niggas, and that ain't it. But I'm moving up. I'm getting closer No, you're not. But because even to your admission, like whatever it is, whatever standards and whatever the shit you got going on, it's not working. All right. So I wanted to play that timestamp. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna just
I've had some doozies.
Yeah,
I've had some doozies.
Yeah, but it's just I just love watching your life.
Michelle say, I just love watching your life. Now, Michelle is gonna say something else in this interview. I was just like, wow, like that shit is crazy. But we gonna get there though. But she enjoys watching Tracee Ellis Ross's life. I don't know why I keep saying her full name like that, but I feel like you got to say her full name, right? Am I mistaken on that? You got to say Tracee Ellis Ross.
Because you were modeling so many things, the next phase, how many versions of ourselves we can become at all ages in life, you know, and how to build the life you want.
Yes.
Not the life that somebody told you were supposed to have. And let me tell you, I have.
But is she building the life that she wants though? I don't know if I'm fully convinced that Tracee Ellis Ross is building the life that she wants, because every few years she's coming out and basically saying the same shit. And y'all say, yeah, hell, I do too. Tracee be living. Okay, if y'all say so. But I'm listening to the undertones here, and it does not lead me to believe that she's just living this full and robust life. But
I told you this about the girls, and Tracee, just like, you know, she mentors the girls. She's always there for them. But trying to make sure that I am not subconscious.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope
culturally.
so.
I really do. I think social media is perpetuating some of those things in a really big way. But I did dream of my wedding growing up. And that's not to say that I didn't dream of the bigness of my life, but I could have spent a lot more time dreaming of my life. And you know, as much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
That's a great point for people to hear.
I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, you know, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though.
Okay. Didn't she just say that? Hold up. Is this the, is that it? Yeah. Didn't she just say that here back in 2022? She's just saying the same shit over again.
I would love a relationship that makes my life better than it is. I have no interest in just being in a relationship to be in a relationship.
Okay. All right. Same shit. 3 years later, saying the same shit. But RAB, she living it up though. She found something that is worked for her. But all right.
Though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I think of what I've done, and I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know, sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
And it's built a really beautiful experience around me. And I have incredible friends.
You do.
Well,
look, to me, that sounded like she was more so trying to convince herself. You know, me personally, I don't know if I'm necessarily buying that, but okay. All right. So let's see. Let me get to, let me get to this one timestamp. I'm gonna skip because there's one other one, but I'm gonna just skip that for now. Let's see. Let's get to this, because when I heard this, I was like, whoa. Like, again, hold up now. Let's see, where is it at? 30. Let's see. Yeah.
Guessing whether my partner is faithful. Like some people are good with that game.
Yes, some people that engages their chemistry. I don't know. And I have no judgment really. Like there's things for people. Everybody has different values around those things and what's important. Some people don't want deep conversation.
Yeah.
Some people, that is not their thing. It feels invasive. It feels uncomfortable. Some people do, you know. I also think for Ronan, I have come to really know that there's a big difference in somebody that I am looking at dating as a partner and somebody that's somebody to enjoy and take what I like and leave the rest. And I learned as I've gotten older, like chemistry is not a relationship. And love,
say that again.
Chemistry is not a relationship.
Yes.
And love does not always include chemistry.
Yes.
And I'm somebody who wants both. Now,
all right, man.
Everybody's not like that. Some people are really don't want a sort of the passionate chemistry of, you know, intimate physical energy. That's not their thing. And you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who that's one of the ways they communicate love. You know, like for example, I have.
Okay. All right. So this the part right here. This the part right here, man. All right, here we go. RB's like, yes, girl, yes. Chemistry is not. Chemistry don't mean, and love don't mean. No, RB over there like, yes. All right, let's see. Now this part right here, I said, yo, it ain't no hope. It ain't no hope. Boy, all right, let's see.
Male friends. I have one that we literally text and it's not flirting and it's all clothes and fashion and shopping.
All
and
clothes.
It's like a version of a relationship. He's the sexiest little thing. He's young. There's never been anything physical. But we have this amazing like exchange that happens
and I
all
don't
the time.
have that with my husband.
No.
Yo, why this part of the podcast ain't go viral? Like, yo, how you say that about your husband? Like, that's crazy. That is legit crazy to me that you would sit up there and say that shit. Hold on, let me run it back one more time, man. Like, good God, that's wild. Imagine if I couldn't imagine if this was Barack saying this about Michelle.
It's not flirting and it's all clothes. And fashion and shopping.
All
and
clothes.
It's like a version of a relationship. He's the sexiest little thing. He's young. There's never been anything physical. But we have this amazing like exchange that happens
and I
all
don't
the time.
have that with my husband.
No. No.
I that sounds fun.
But that's fun, right? It's like so fun. And I'm single. Then I have a friend I go to the
Yo, what's not crazy about that? Like, oh man, to say, I just don't see any other first ladies out here saying that they don't have some type of exchange or connection, whether they do or not, behind closed doors. Like, you just don't see other first ladies coming out and saying shit like that about their husbands. Like, that is all right, I'm sorry. That is wild. That is a wild shit to say.
It's not flirting and it's all clothes. And fashion and shopping.
All
and
clothes.
It's like a version of a relationship. He's the sexiest little thing. He's young. There's never been anything physical. But we have this amazing like exchange that happens
and I
all
don't
the time.
have that with my husband.
No.
I don't even think it's about the clothes or the fashion, but her just saying that we have this beautiful exchange, and then for Michelle to say,
I that sounds fun.
But that's fun.
I don't have that exchange with my husband, and that sounds fun. I don't know. Y'all can think it's cool if y'all like, but I feel like that is crazy work. What is wild about not having girl chat with your man? Again, to me, it just seems as though man, let me get on to the next timestamp, man. Because I mean, I guess me and RAB, we just gonna have to agree to disagree on this one, because I just think it sounds crazy to, sitting here basically listening to other shit on his mind besides fashion. All right, let's see. Let's get to this next little timestamp here. 38. Yeah.
Program is about, it's in my opinion. You don't have to know. We just have our deeply held opinions about Ronan's life.
Exactly. But this is what I'm saying. I might not meet a partner.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you getting closer and closer to that point, though.
Okay.
I'm saying,
right.
Like, I know there's this assumption, right? And the assumption is if you don't, there's something wrong with you. Mm-hmm. I don't agree.
I agree with you not agreeing with
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm just like, no, I don't, no.
Right.
I am a great match and a great catch and all those things, but I also am going to wait for the right person. So to...
Yo, man, again, I think in all situations, you are the common denominator. Well, I mean, for people to sit up here and act like they aren't the problem and it's everybody else. Is it everybody else? Is it though? Man, again, hey, it is what it is. Say it ain't me. It's everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's always Jermaine's fault.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault.
It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm sorry, but I think that if you've been saying the same thing over and over, trying to justify the reasons for you being single, and you're such a unicorn of a person, and it's gonna take a unicorn to get with you when you found your way of dating, but at the same time it hasn't been successful for you. You got a roster of guys, but you haven't found the right one. Man, y'all can't I'm sorry, y'all not gonna sit up here and convince me that one, Tracee Ellis Ross is like super happy about where she's at in life and not having kids and having a partner. And y'all not gonna sit up here and tell me that she can't potentially be the problem in all of her previous relationships. Y'all not gonna convince me of that. Sitting here listening to her talk now, I'm like, oh my God, like it would be a headache. It would be a headache. But that's why older guys, like, man, I ain't listening to all that. I'm not listening to all that. I'm straight.
Ronan, I would say.
Mm-hmm. But then let's see. Oh, last time stamp here. And then let's see, it's 1:00. All right. Let's see. Last time stamp here. Again, this is something that Michelle has said this before, but I don't know, man. I'm just like, it's just something about down talking to the previous president out here, man. I don't know. Even though I may not necessarily agree with all of Obama's politics and things of that nature. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. Some of the things that Michelle says and does, especially, him being by himself at Jimmy Carter's funeral, him being by himself at the inauguration, him being seen by himself quite frequently, Then to mention, she was on some podcast. I'm going to just play this because she said it before.
Define everything in one person. I don't know if that's Ronan's issue. But if it is, I'd encourage him to, be a little more open and to understand that relationships are long and there are also ebbs and flows, right? So I think sometimes people who date don't realize that, in long-term relationships, you're gonna have deep, deep dips. And you're going to have
a bad year.
You're going to have a bad. I tell people, and folks think that this is harsh. It's like you're going to have a bad decade.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been married to my husband for 30 plus years. I mean, the truth is, if you add it all up, even the year if the odds were you're going to be married to your partner for 50 years and 10 of those years could be bad,
You'd sign up for it.
You'd sign up for it.
You'd sign up for it.
Right. And that's really how it works out.
That's the reality of it.
The reality is that if you choose to have a traditional marriage and you have kids, let me tell you, the years of 1 to 13 will be bad for you as an adult, because it's beautiful, but they'll take you for a loop and you love them and you don't want to hate them because they're cute. So you're going to be mad at the person who is sitting next to you, the other adult.
The one who helped you make it.
The one who helped you make it. So that accounts for just a decade, right?
Man, and the thing is that, those ages were around the time that Barack was out here being the first black president. So I'm out here, trying to be the leader of the free world, trying to get the economy back on track, trying to get immigration right. I'm out here trying to get it, And meanwhile, I got my wife out here talking about she hate me for the last 8 out of those 10 years. Like, again, to me, when it comes to Because what black people be talking about all the time, legacy, generational wealth. We trying to be like Barack and Michelle and blah, blah, blah. But man, when you got one half of the party, man, just kind of throwing you up under the bus. She done made you quit basketball, bruh. Hold up. Let me go back to this picture real quick. Let me go back here real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here, just taking a little selfie. Prime Minister style. Michelle ain't liking that. Nigga, get your ass up. Now, hey, look, man. Look, I'm just saying. I don't see too many other first ladies doing this, man. Barack showing up by himself at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Again, showing up to the inauguration by himself. No matter how y'all feel about that, about Trump and whatever, what happened to the whole when they go low, we go high and all of that, But this was about her. This wasn't about, them looking good as a unit. I could only imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and Barack was to say these same things about Michelle, oh man, I don't have that type of exchange with my wife. Oh man, for 10 years, man, I couldn't stand my wife. I hated my wife while I was president. How would that go over with people at large? I don't know. But Let's see what y'all talking about. Man, just different faces most of the time. Men really are the problem on and off stage. Okay, again. As a matter of fact, let me play that one part because of that statement right there from CC. Shout out to CC, man. Shout out to you for being here, man. But look, shout out to you. But most of the time, men really are the problem. Again, the lack of self-reflection and self-accountability, and man, where did I go wrong? Man, it's let me go back because I was like, I don't know if I believe that too much.
I think.
Let's see. Hold up. Where was it? 31. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if I necessarily believe that too much, but all right.
Well, and it's interesting when I think, to your point, Craig, when you were you had your 32 list item, that was all about Kelly, right? I mean, and that's sometimes what we do. Forget you. Yep. I think that's what a lot of people do. It's like there's a list of things that I need in the other person,
right?
And right. And some of them, a lot of them are superficial, like height and career.
Oh, hold on, no. Let's see. Was that it?
We asked it.
Well, and it's interesting when I think, to your point, Craig, when you were you had your 32 list item, that was all about Kelly, right? I mean, and that's sometimes what we do. Forget you. Yep. I think that's what a lot of people do. It's like there's a list of things that I need in the other person.
Right.
Man. I don't know. Let's see. Man, I can't find it, but basically Michelle was saying that, you know, in women's groups and things of that nature, women are way more reflective, and you know, they have deep conversations about themselves and those around them, and you know, and I was like, you know, maybe women are very critical about people around them, but whenever it comes to themselves, I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily see that. Just because of the simple fact that you can ask, I mean, how many times have we seen episodes of Pop the Balloon? It could be Kendra G, you know, and the simple question of you know, what are 3 flaws that you have, or you know, why did your last, without blaming the other person, you know, what are some flaws, or what are some things that you can improve on from your last relationship? And women simply don't be having an answer for that. They're like, you know, I don't know. So I don't know if women are as reflective. Yeah, maybe about other people, but as far as looking at themselves, I don't know about that. The Michelle slander is crazy right now. This is just my point of view. You can roll your eyes all you want. It's just my point of view. I mean, hey. Was Barack very vocal about it though? Because every clip that I've seen about Barack talking about Michelle, I mean, he's held her up in very, very high esteem. I have not seen Barack throw her up under the bus. But I could be wrong. And if so, please share. Please share. You know, I would love to be, you know, proven wrong on that. Let's see. Will be, but but yeah, man. I mean, I'm just saying, man. This interview for me, again. Oh, there was something that Allie said. Yeah, they said him and Jennifer Aniston were creeping. I heard that too. I don't know if I believe that though. But I mean, it could be though. It could be. I mean, let's not act like people ain't saying that there ain't trouble in paradise with the Obamas. And I mean, I'm just saying these showings or lack thereof is not showing that you know, they are a solidified just cohesive unit. They ain't looking good as a unit right now. It's RAB. Sorry, not sorry on that. So, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's just it's my opinion. It's my opinion. As a whole, y'all are what? Neither of them have thrown the other under the bus again. I'm just going to have to disagree with you on that. I'm just going to have to disagree with you on that, man. Even with Bill Clinton and his whole fiasco, like, I don't know. Didn't necessarily hear Hillary going crazy. Like, yeah, this nigga was really getting it in with this bitch. Like, never really heard that. He did say that she never wanted him to run for a second term. Okay. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily throwing her under the bus, though. Thus far in their marriage again. Hey, look. Show me some clips of Obama. Like saying, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I've never been married. You know, I can just go on listening to the experience of others and what I've observed in observable reality to know that, you know, relationships or marriages are not easy by any means. You know, even being just in a long-term relationship is it's not easy, you know. And I mean, I think Michelle has a valid point whenever she says, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, if you're going to be married for 50 years and 10 of them are going to be bad, then I mean, that would be something that most people would, I think at a certain point would sign up for. But then at the same time, shit, in 2025, I don't think people really trying to sign up for that, because they're going to be like, well, damn, how bad is it going to get? How bad is it going to get when, you know, people got the mentality that, hey, you know, I can do bad all by myself. They be talking on stage together about it. Not hard to find these convos. Okay, all right. But again, man, find me something that says, find me somewhere where Barack is like, yo, man, this is what's missing from, I don't have this. I don't have said exchange. I don't have this with my wife. I couldn't stand. If you can find me something where Barack is saying something to the same degree as Michelle, then hey, you know, I'll stand corrected. I'll stand corrected on that. You know what I'm saying? I have no issues with admitting when I have shit fucked up or misconstrued, or, you know, if I'm wrong about something. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they do have conversations together or interviews together. Let's see. Google Barack. And, let's see. Barack and Mama relationship. Okay. All right. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. Let's see if I can find something here. You know, RAB say it ain't that hard to find. Ain't that hard to find? Let's see. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right. Good night, RAB. You haven't misconstrued because nothing that's been said by either party was bad or talked down about their spouse. again, we can agree to disagree on that. That's fine. But I appreciate you coming through. That's fine. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Barack Obama reveals deep deficit in Michelle Obama marriage. Former President Barack Obama shared rare insight into life with wife Michelle Obama and how their relationship has changed after he left the White House. Okay, so this was as of April 5th. Let's see. Barack Obama is sharing rare insight into his marriage with Michelle Obama. The former U.S. president says he's been spending more time doing fun things with his wife after his 2 back-to-back terms in the White House, which ended in 2017. I was in a deep deficit with my wife, the Democratic leader told Hamilton College president at a April 3rd event that was part of the school's Sacerdote series. So I've been trying to dig myself out of that hole by doing occasionally fun things, trying to get that exchange. He's trying to get that exchange. Let's see. The former president went on to talk about his life at home with Michelle and their children, Malia, who's 26, and Sasha, who's 23, while discussing times he has not been able to communicate as effectively as he wanted to. First of all, I constantly lose arguments to my wife. My daughters, he said, they mock me and ridicule me at the dinner table. The former first lady had herself shared a few insights into the couple's last month. She noted a pet peeve she has about her husband of 32 years, his time management. I got this husband who's like, when it's time to leave, it's 3 o'clock. He's getting up and going to the bathroom. She told her brother Craig on the first episode. And I was like, dude, 3 o'clock departure means you've done all that, blah, blah, blah. All right. Bedtime is the best time of day. She added, he just doesn't understand the idea of getting into some good sheets and it's cool. Let's see. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see it, but y'all let me know. But anyways, man, I'm tired, man. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. There it is. Told you she never really supported his career, deeply affected their marriage. I mean, man, I don't know, man. But hey, hey, y'all, I don't know, man. I guess I'm done on that, man. I'm done on that. But let me get up off of here, man. It's 1:20. I got to get up early. I'm pretty sure y'all do too. But with that being said, I guess we'll come back and do this week's episode of Pod the Balloon maybe next week or maybe one day over the weekend or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the weekend plays out. But nevertheless, man, hope y'all have a great night. And if there's anything that you ever want to achieve in life, remember that it requires patience, consistency, and most importantly, it don't happen overnight. See y'all on the next video. Peace.